Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing my Golden Max Trion Nemesis in multiplayer in Asphalt 9. Please consider subscribing if you have not already, and be sure to check out my Furum Clips channel, Furum TV channel, and the Purple Team Discord. Links to all those will be down in the description, and I hope you enjoy these races. Some of you may be wondering, why am I making a video about this car right now? Well, a few years ago, I got this car at Golden Max as a gift from Gameloft to do a video for them, kind of like a review video testing the car's difference between stock and max. That video is still up on the Asphalt channel, so definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it so far. It's one of the early Asphalt 9 videos that I did make for Gameloft. Now, I made a video about this car on my channel as well, just regularly testing it in multiplayer like I normally do, and back then, it was definitely one of the best cars in the game. I mean, this was 3 or 4 years ago. And so, a lot of people have been asking me since then, will I make a retest of it to see how it does against the current Kings? Will it do decently in today's multiplayer? Also, that first video about the Trion I made on my channel is one of my most viewed Asphalt 9 multiplayer videos on my channel, so I figured, hey, why not give it another shot, make another video testing this car out in a season that almost feels like it was made for it. That's another reason I'm doing this now. These past couple of multiplayer seasons have been just Greenland and Himalayas. Now, the Trion Nemesis, as many of you guys know, is a very top speed oriented car. You know, it has great handling and everything, not so much in the nitro department, but for sure the handling, drifting, and top speed. And I thought this is the perfect opportunity to see how this car may be able to perform at its maximum potential, because these are two tracks that will be very good for it. Now, the first couple of races in this video were recorded in the previous multiplayer season, which was just regular classic, I believe, and the last few races were recorded in the most recent Ghost Slipstream multiplayer season, which is ending very soon, along with a lot of other events from the first half of the Winterfest season. We won't be getting another update right away, as we still have some other events for the second half of the season, but we will be getting a new Legend Pass and stuff like that. But anyways, the main question I want to answer in today's video is, does the Trion Nemesis still hold up today? And based on some of the races that I got when recording in this season, I can say, for the most part, yes. On Greenland especially, it is able to hold its own in the majority of cases against a lot of the new, faster Kings, and a lot of this is due to not only the fact that it has a very high top speed, but its good drifting and handling makes it easy to get around some of the turns that maybe some of the faster but stiffer cars might not be able to get around as well. I fared slightly worse on Himalayas, and this was mainly against cars like the, say, Tuatara and Jesko, which, if you know Himalayas, you know that Mountain Poles and Frozen Route are going to be extremely good for those high top speed cars, and that is where the Trion will falter the most against the new big Kings of the game. But against almost anything else, on every variant of these couple tracks that I played on, it was able to keep up. I might not have been always able to beat everybody. I mean, the Shirans were definitely some of my closest competitors, as in this race, we have Fluttershy, another guy who is in Legions United in a Shiran, and I had a very close battle with him. So cars like this will be fairly evenly matched with it on a lot of tracks, at least that I have found. And even though I did not test this car on other tracks such as the Caribbean or whatever, because we simply cannot this season, I would have otherwise, I think it would do fairly well on those two given the good handling and everything. Now, the only real big downside of this car, other than I guess kind of mediocre acceleration, the real big one that most people point out is the really bad nitro efficiency, which is no longer the worst in the game. It is still fairly bad though, although given its super high top speed and everything like that, and Slipstream especially, it doesn't really affect the car all that much in a lot of situations, especially if you get a track like Greenland or Himalayas, where the car is able to maintain its top speed a lot of the time without relying on a lot of nitro to keep it there. Now, I do think, even though the car would fare somewhat well on the more agility-oriented tracks due to good handling and everything, it would still perhaps lose to cars like the Speedtail or whatever in certain cases that just may be more reliable for those kinds of tracks. But on Greenland, Himalayas, any of these longer and straighter tracks, the Trion will do extremely well. And if Gameloft continues to do this thing where they only have a couple of tracks every multiplayer season based around the theme of the update or something like that, I definitely think we will see a lot more almost brackets or sorts of cars being used in each season. Like in this season, it's all the top speed cars because these are very top speed oriented tracks. But if next season, say we have, I don't know, Rome or something like that, we'll probably see a lot more Speedtails and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if Gameloft does keep this, which I do hope they don't, because I really like variety in my multiplayer videos. It'll be interesting to see how that changes the multiplayer landscape and what cars people actually end up using in each kind of season. We do still have multiplayer 2, however, in any case, which does have, at least currently, a full variety of tracks in the game, at least as far as I know. I will be making a few videos in the current multiplayer 2 season as well about pretty much all of the Drive Syndicate cars, or at least the first 4, because I don't have the Tushek and obviously not the Bolide. The Bolide has done very well in that season, though. Whenever I've run up against them, they've been extremely powerful cars. So I think that's another one that would do very well in a season like this with Greenland and Himalayas. It is similar to the Trion Nemesis, just in overall feel. That's the closest car that I would compare it to, just in terms of its stats and everything like that, its strengths and weaknesses. Now, in terms of the Drive Syndicate, I feel pretty comfortable and confident with where I've gotten to in it. So I've exhausted everything that I can do at this point. The furthest that I got was 2-starring the 9X8. However, after doing that, because I knew I wasn't going to have enough Syndicate coins to 3-star that car and move on, because even if I did by some miracle manage to 3-star it, I would still have to spend a lot of the Syndicate coins on upgrades for the main car of the event too. So I didn't want to do with that. Instead, I went and 3-starred my Praga and 4-starred my Bentley. And I have just like a few thousand Syndicate coins left, so my luck turned out fairly well in this event, I would say. I got 2 jackpots throughout the course of this event. One was for the 9X8, which allowed me to 2-star it, and one was for the Praga. I have not gotten a single jackpot in literal years. I got quite a few toward the beginning of when I was playing this game. I don't remember exactly, it was like 4 or 5 or something the first year or so, but then I had this giant dry spell where there were just none whatsoever. And then I come back and get 2 in one event for cars I don't even care about a lot. I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm happy I was able to star them up. But I kind of wish that Gameloft had saved my my jackpot luck, or whatever you want to call it, for cars like, I don't know, the Valhalla or something else I really want to star up. But I know it doesn't really work like that, at least I don't think it does. But anyways, still kind of weird. I wish I'd been on different cars. And here in this final race, we have a race on Himalayas, which you may notice was not as featured as prominently throughout this video. That's because the Trion really did do better on Greenland than it did on Himalayas, which I thought was very interesting, at least in my experience. And that leads us to my general review of the Trion. It's still a very powerful car, still useful to take out in multiplayer. It is more useful on higher top speed tracks. It will be able to beat almost everything on these very comfortably, except possibly some of the super high-end, high top speed cars of S-Class it may struggle against sometimes, and on the more agility-oriented tracks it may struggle against cars like the Speedtail, but overall, still a very great car in today's multiplayer. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, Minecraft, other games content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!